Hey guys, what's
Welcome
up?
to the
It's Roy
Entrepreneurship Crash
Youngno here.
Course. I hope you guys are excited. I sure am. So let's go ahead and get started with a very important question. Who wants to become your own boss, set your own schedule, work from anywhere in the world, make a lot of money, love what you do, and make a difference? If that's you, make some noise. All right, so here's what you're going to discover today: 8 essentials your business plan must have, 12 characteristics of a great business idea, how to get capital for your business, common mistakes and how to avoid them, the best type of business to start right now, at least in my opinion, how to start your own profitable business within 8 weeks, and even a surprise gift at the end. So before we dive in here, get rid of all distractions. So turn off the cell phone, get rid of all the tabs in the background. We're going to go over a lot of information, and you want to make sure that you're paying attention and are focused. Grab a pen and paper. I've done these webinars for years, and I love seeing the notes from people saying, "Oh, I took 5 pages of notes. Thanks so much for doing this." You're definitely going to learn a lot of information, and you're going to want to take some notes. So be sure that you have a pen and paper ready. And lastly, get excited. This webinar could potentially change your life. You never know, right? Who knows where you are on the entrepreneurial journey right now, but maybe this will give you that breakthrough idea or that breakthrough motivation to really take it to the next level. And I'm happy to be a part of your journey, and I'm going to do my best to serve you. So who's this for? Successful employees who want to become successful entrepreneurs, right? You've had some success in other areas of your life, and now you're ready to move that into entrepreneurship. You're a decisive and resourceful action taker, right? A lot of people want to start a business, but very few actually do it. This is for those people who are resourceful, decisive, and ready to take some action. You have at least $10,000 to invest in starting your business. As they say, it takes money to make money. And you want to have some capital in order to give your business a better chance of success. You want to make over 6 figures helping other people and improving the world. If you just want to start a business to make money and you don't care about anything other than making money, that's not the kind of people that I want to serve, that I want to work with. I really want to help solve the problems in the world, make the world a better place, and make money doing it. You want to start your business as soon as possible, not next month, next year, next decade, right? Really, like, how can I start my business now and start making the world a better place, start increasing my income, getting that freedom and fulfillment that so many people want. And you're ready to become the best version of yourself. If you've been successful in a career where you get a steady paycheck and you rise the corporate ladder, or whatever your background is, entrepreneurship is a totally different ballgame. And any kind of corporate success you've had in the employment world, I had that too. You'll learn about my story. Entrepreneurship is totally different. Nothing can prepare you for the challenges you're going to face. So many unexpected challenges, not only from the business side, but also the mental side. And through this process, you become a better version of yourself. And it's very challenging, but it's also very rewarding. So if this sounds like you, then you guys are in the right space, the right place. So a little bit about myself. I'm Joey. Nice to meet you. I'm the founder of Coachieve, which is my company, the one that's putting on this webinar right now. I'm a keynote speaker. I've spoken at conferences all over the country, and I really enjoy doing that. I'm an award-winning author, and I'm an entrepreneur coach and business strategist. So a little bit about my background. I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska. I went to University of Pennsylvania, and for those of you who may not know, that's an Ivy League school founded by Ben Franklin, one of the best schools in the country. Not everybody knows that, apparently. In college, I worked at Microsoft, Deloitte, and the United States Senate, and those were great experiences. Those were each internships. And then I moved into finance, where I worked at Merrill Lynch and Morgan Stanley. I became a CFA charter holder, where, if you're not aware, that's kind of like the gold standard designation in finance. I enjoyed it. I was successful and made 6 figures and did good in my job, but at the end of the day, it wasn't very fulfilling for me. I thought I could have a bigger impact, and so I quit to pursue entrepreneurship. And being a successful person before, I thought, oh, you know what? Entrepreneurship, this is going to be a piece of cake. I'm sure it'll be difficult and challenging, but I'm sure I'll figure it out right away. I mean, look at all these other entrepreneurs who have millions of dollars. I'm certainly smarter than they are. No problem. I'm going to make $1 million my first year. Well, needless to say, that didn't happen. I think I made I don't know, $3 or $4 or $5,000 my first year, which really, how is that even possible? Such a low amount of money working, working every single day. You only make that amount of money. And that's what I'm telling you, the entrepreneurship, it's just such a different world, that it doesn't matter what other success you've had in other areas of your life. It really is, it throws you for a curveball. So that was my first year, and it didn't get any better than that the next couple of years. I still worked hard. I was hopping from idea to idea. I was trying to run or start 4 different companies at the same time. By the way, that's not a good idea. Don't do that. Uh, and I ended up basically cashing out all my retirement. I got into a massive amount of debt. Uh, I had to, I'd quit my job thinking I would pursue this entrepreneurship thing, but then I had to get these odd jobs, throughout the years just to pay my bills. I had to move back in with my parents multiple times. Listen, I love my parents, but that's not, coming from New York, you know, living in the West Village in a nice apartment, partying in the Hamptons, and then having to move back to Middle America with my parents. That was a humbling experience. And not only once, I had to do it like 3 different times. And during this journey, I knew that if I stopped learning, I would be in trouble. And so even though I might have been $70,000 in debt or whatever it was, I would still invest $12,000 into programs, into my education, into hiring coaches, into getting mentors, into all the stuff, because I knew if I didn't do that, then I was definitely in trouble. So that was a pretty dark period of my dark period of time, even though I kind of remained optimistic and confident in myself. When I was probably a couple months away from bankruptcy at one point, and through hard work and prayer and some other things, I was able to turn the corner. And now I'm happy to say I've paid off the vast majority of the debt. I've got my own nice apartment again. I live with the parents. I have a bright future. I've made 6 figures the past 2 years, hopefully to make multiple 6 figures soon. And just a bright future, and things are good now, thank goodness. So I don't want you to have to go through that 5-year journey of pain. I want to give you some tips in this presentation to help you kind of avoid that. And hopefully that you will take these lessons. And I can't, we only have an hour or so together, or whatever it is. I can't teach you everything, but hopefully I'll give you some good tips that will help you get to success much faster than me. And so now I'm building Coachieve. I'm trying to create kind of like an empowerment empire. I really do want to change the world. I want to get rich helping others, and I want to help others do the same. So why start your own business in the first place? I mean, it's a painful journey most of the time. And so why even bother with it? Well, one is freedom. People really want more freedom. They want to be able to do what they want, when they want, with whomever they want, wherever they want. That's kind of what people say freedom is. They want fulfillment, right? I think 70% of people don't like their jobs. So being able to have fulfillment in your life is very important. Fulfilled meaning like every day you wake up, you're excited to work on what you are working on. Unlimited income potential. Doesn't matter how far you climb up the corporate ladder, there's always a limit to what you can make. There's only so many promotions and raises you can get. When you're your own boss, the sky's the limit. Security. This is a big one, right? We live in an unstable, unpredictable world. We have new concerns we didn't even know we needed before, pandemics. Then you've got recessions and riots, and who knows what's coming next, right? There could be, maybe a war will break out. Like we really don't know. We live in an unpredictable world. And by relying on an employer to pay you, or by relying on, unreliable income sources is risky. What if you don't have a backup plan? What happens if this happens? Having your own business, being in control of your destiny is wonderful, especially during times of uncertainty. You may want to work from home or work from anywhere at all. When I did these webinars like, a year or so ago, I would talk about being able to work from the beach, and that was really appealing to people. But now just being able to work from home, stay inside, avoid viruses and all the other thing, that's just as appealing. Stay safe with your family inside. You don't have to travel to work. You don't have to travel anywhere. That could be a great reason to start a business. And having an impact and helping others in need. There are so many people in need. There are so many problems in this world. And entrepreneurship can be an answer for it. I know nonprofits, you may think, well, nonprofits are the answer, but really they're not as effective as entrepreneurship can be in really solving big problems. So those are a lot of reasons for why I want to start a business. You can probably come up with more reasons, but those are some of the big ones with the clients I've worked with in the past that really were kind of driving them. And I like quotes, so I'm going to share some quotes throughout this presentation. So let's start with these. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll be among the stars. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And the question isn't who is going to let me, it's who is going to stop me. So let's talk about the business plan. Whatever business that you want to start, you need a plan for the business. So when I say business plan, I don't mean, from 20 years ago, those 50-page business plans that nobody reads and was full of garbage anyway. No, these are, 8 essential things because you need a plan for your business, and this is what you want to include in your plan. 1, a narrow target market. A lot of first-time entrepreneurs, they want to help everybody with everything, and if that's what you want to do, that's a formula for failure. Try to help everybody with everything means you're appealing to no one. And so you really want to narrow down who are you going to serve and who are you really going to get to know as your customer, because you want to know your customer better than they know themselves. And once that happens, then you can start to create products and services that they really want. Next, an exciting value proposition. So if you've ever been to a networking event before and you've been talking to people that had their own business or they were consultants or whatever, a common question at those events would be like, what do you do? And if you ever hear some of other people's answers, they are horrible. They're boring, they're generic, they're salesy, they make you want to run away as soon as you hear it. That's not a way to attract clients and make money. You need to have an exciting value proposition that's different from other people's, that really speaks to the needs of the people you're trying to serve and is exciting. They're like, as soon as you say it, you want them to say, ooh, tell me more, not, ooh, I have to go. That's the reaction that you want, is them to hear more about it. Next, you need a marketing strategy. Okay, if you're a first-time entrepreneur, a lot of first-time entrepreneurs say things ridiculous like, it'll sell itself, or, oh, if I build it, they will come, or, oh, I'm going to go viral and that's how I'm going to get the word out. None of those things are true. Ask any established entrepreneur and they'll tell you the same thing. In fact, the number one skill that you probably need in your business is marketing. What is your marketing strategy? And marketing is very difficult because there's hundreds of marketing strategies. And what most first-time entrepreneurs do is they get shiny object syndrome and they hop from one marketing idea to the next, to the next, to the next. They don't master any of them. They try them all. None of them work because they really never did them the right way in the first place. And then a few years later, they're broke and bankrupt. Okay, so you could have the best product or service in the world, but if you don't have a marketing strategy in order to let people know about it, you will be broke. Next is a sales strategy. Okay, marketing will get you the leads, but the sales is what's going to actually get them to buy. To open up their checkbook, to open up their wallet and pull out their credit card. What is going to get them to buy? And there's lots of ways you can do sales. Maybe you're going to do the sales yourself, like over a phone call. Maybe you're going to make a webinar, and the webinar will sell the thing. Maybe you want to hire salespeople, maybe commission-only salespeople. Maybe you want to have a long-form sales letter, or you want to do direct mail, or like whatever, right? Yeah, there needs to be a mechanism for what's actually going to do the selling that asks people for money. And a lot of first-time entrepreneurs get nervous about sales, but that's because they're thinking about it wrong. They think about sales as like used car salesmen. No, sales is you're providing a value for someone and they're giving you money in exchange for the value, and you want to make sure that the value you're giving them is worth more than the money that they're giving to you. Okay, so that's really, by serving, you're really serving other people, and they're just paying you money for that service and making their life better. Next, you need, what is your product or service going to be, and what is the price point for it? Seems pretty obvious, but a lot of people struggle with that. I'll talk to an aspiring entrepreneur and I'll say, so what are you going to sell and how much are you going to charge for it? And they'll have no idea. Not a good sign. Next, you need financial projections. Now, I'm a finance guy, so I could go on forever in terms of what you need, but I want to keep this pretty basic. So basically, you want to know what's your price point for your offering? How many of those do you think you can sell over the course of a year? So that'll give you your revenue. And then you want to minus your expenses, both your fixed expenses and your variable expenses. And then that'll give you the profit. Okay, so that's like a very simple financial projection. Basically, revenue minus expenses equal profit, and that'll be a good starting point for you, because you want to make sure that the profit, because a lot of people brag about, I did $2 million of revenue last year. What they didn't tell you is that they had $2.2 million of expenses and actually lost $200,000. Okay. It's cool to say you made $2 million. It's not cool to say you lost $200,000. So we care about profit, not revenue. And so you want to make sure that you have enough profit in order to feed your family and do all the things you need to do, in addition to grow the business. Number 7, people and operations. So who are the people on your team? If you're going to go after venture capital, then this is one of the most important questions. Who's on your team? I generally don't encourage business partners just because I've heard so many stories of business partners running, like literally emptying the banking account and moving to a foreign country. Like that really happens. I've heard it from multiple people. But not only that, even if they don't do that, they're not pulling their own weight. You're doing all the work, but they still own 50% of the company. All these things. But in some cases, it makes sense. It really just depends. But you want to know who are the people, and then operations. A lot of time, well, not a lot of times, but often a company can go out of business because they grow too quickly. You're like, how's that possible? They're making all this money. How could they go out of business because they grew too quickly? And that's because they didn't have an operations plan in place to make sure things didn't fall through the cracks. To make sure that they didn't accidentally lose $200,000 because they didn't have a process in place for it. So you want to make sure you have your operations plan laid out. And then a scaling strategy. What is your scaling strategy going to be? Once you have something that's working, how can you blow it up to a multi-million-dollar company in a relatively short amount of time? You want to know like how you're able to do that. So those are kind of the 8 most important things when it comes to a business plan. So hopefully you found that helpful. Risk more than others think is safe. Dream more than others think is practical. Show me a person who never made a mistake, and I will show you a person who never did anything. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goals. All right, let's talk about the business idea. So I'm going to show you 8 characteristics of a great business idea. But they basically fall into 3 categories. 1, they're lean. 2, they're profitable and you can make money from it, good money from it. And 3, it's fulfilling. So let's look at each one of these a little bit more. So it's lean. If you haven't read the book called The Lean Startup, it's a great book. Basically what it says is what a lot of people do to launch their business is they lock themselves in the basement for 6 months. They try to come up with this perfect product. They talk to nobody. They launch this product. Turns out nobody wants it. That's kind of typically what people do. They want to create this quote unquote perfect product, but it turns out nobody wanted it in the first place. So what they suggest to do is you create some sort of minimum viable product, just like a bare bones, definitely not perfect at all kind of a product or service. Get it out there to the market, try to sell it a few times and get feedback from real customers. And they'll say, well, no, I don't want that because of this, this, and this. I would want this, this, or that. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. So then you iterate. You just make the product better with customer input along the way so that you don't create what you think is a perfect product, because your opinion doesn't matter. The only opinion that matters is what do the customers think, and you're only going to know that if you go ask them. So basically, you want to be able to launch the business with the lean startup. You want to be able to launch it quickly. 2, you want to keep your startup costs low and your fixed costs low. Some businesses cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to get off the ground and years of work before you even, make your first dollar of revenue. I can help you with those businesses, but those aren't my preferred business. Most of my clients are, they work a day job and they just want to create a business that can get off the ground quickly, not take too much risk, something that can replace their income over the next year, and then, be fulfilled doing it. Those are the kind of clients that I normally work with, but there's other clients as well. I had another client who spent $250,000 building an app. Okay, well, if you're able to get investors and do that, then that's great, but you're taking more risk when you do that. And lastly, it can launch quickly. You can launch a product or service within a matter of weeks. People are like, how's that possible? Well, you have to know what you're doing. That's how it's possible, right? Anything's possible once you know the blueprint for it. And so these are when I say lean, these are the things that I'm talking about. Next is profitable. Does it have a high profit margin? There's a lot of companies that make millions of revenue, but they're actually unprofitable. They don't actually make any money. So they have to keep getting more and more investors in order to keep the lights on. What's the point of that? You want to create a profit so that you can actually provide for yourself and your family. Or at least I would think you would want that. can it scale quickly? Right? If you create a successful brick and mortar local business and it's doing great, I mean, congratulations, but how are you going to scale that across the country quickly? It would take you 10 years before you could scale a brick and mortar business across the country. I like things that can scale much faster. If you've got something that's working, let's blow it out of the water while the opportunity's there and take it, across the entire nation or across the entire world, within a matter of months, not a matter of decades. And has large upside potential. You know, in my opinion, if your business if your business doesn't have the potential to make over $1 million a year, why bother with it in the first place? I know some people I just want to make $50,000 and I'll be happy. Okay, that's cool, but like you can go get a job and make that amount of money, and it'll be a whole lot less stressful. So if you want to start a business, you want to make sure that the upside is worth it, because otherwise it's just too much work. And if you only make 50,000, 100,000, you can get a job that can pay you that amount of money. In my opinion, you want to have more ambitious goals, because otherwise it's just too much work. And third, it makes you happy. So it allows you to live your dream lifestyle. So a lot of first-time entrepreneurs, they're just focused on the money. They're like, oh, you know what? I could create this business and make this amount of money. But they don't ever stop to think, if I'm actually successful at this, will it give me the lifestyle that I want? Will I be happy? And a lot of times the answer is no, right? There's a lot of millionaires, a lot of multimillionaires who hate their business. They don't believe in their product. They don't like their clients. They don't like the location that they're stuck in. They don't like the amount of time they have to put into the business, all this stuff. So let's figure that out ahead of time to make sure that if this business is actually successful, you're going to be happy. And is it fulfilling? Do you enjoy getting up every day? Do you feel rewarded by the people that you're serving and the work that you're doing? These are all very important considerations when it comes to a business idea. So how can you come up with your dream business idea? There's a lot of ways. I'll just go over a few of them right here. Follow your passion. I know that's very cliche and everybody tells you that, but the reason it's important is because if you're just doing it for the money and you're not making money at first, you're going to be like, well, this is dumb. I'm not making any money, so I'm just going to quit. And so if you don't have a passion, if you don't have another reason besides the money that you want to start a business, when the times get tough, which they will, especially if you don't have a mentor, if you don't have a mentor, then forget about it. Like, you're in for a world of pain. But if you don't have that passion to keep you going, then you would just quit, which is why the passion is so important. So it'll get you through the tough times. Focus on problems. Too many of these hotshot young entrepreneurs, they want to come up with this sexy solution. And then the problem with that is then they have to go find someone that has the problem that needs the solution. And what they usually find out is they don't need it. And so if you start with someone that has a problem and then develop a custom solution or product or service for that person, you've got a good chance of them buying it because you're solving their problem. So rather than focus on sexy, shiny solutions, focus on real world problems. A lot of people complain about problems. A lot of people have a lot of complaints in life. Well, every complaint, every problem is a business opportunity. So the next time you complain about something, realize that's a business opportunity. And let's not have negative associations to problems in our lives. View them as potential opportunities and moneymakers. How can you help other people? You may already have a skill set that you can monetize. You may already have an area of expertise that you can make money from. And what are ways that you can already help people? I can help you, or you can figure it out yourself. How can you actually make money doing what you love, helping others? Social entrepreneurship. There's this growing trend of social entrepreneurship. If you're not familiar with what it is, it's basically a business that helps others, helps the world, helps social causes. There's lots of ways that you can structure it, but social entrepreneurship is a great area to look at if you've never heard about it before. A lot of first-time entrepreneurs are like, what's social entrepreneurship? But it's great. It's a for-profit business that does good in the world. You can also get help figuring out what the best business idea for you is. For example, with my clients, I'll spend about an hour and a half asking them a series of questions to really get to kind of know what drives them, what their background is, all these things. And then at the end of it, I come up with 5 to 10 business ideas, custom crafted for them and what they're trying to get, right? These aren't just like, go to Google, come up with 99 business ideas. Those are a lot of dumb ideas anyway. But no, it's customized to them and what their passions are. So I'll give you some examples of past clients that I've worked with, and I've really helped these. Most of my clients don't even have a business idea when they come to me. So here are some ideas that I'm hoping these will give you some ideas. Maybe you'll even want to steal some of these ideas for yourself, or they can serve as inspiration for a different idea, just to kind of get the wheels turning of what kind of businesses that you may want to start. So Tom's business is helping to break the cycle of poverty by training the poor with skills they need to get good paying tradesman jobs. Carly's business teaches teenagers and their parents essential financial literacy skills to set them up for success both now and in the future. Elvis's business is equipping corporate boardrooms to protect themselves against cybersecurity attacks to enhance America's national security. Dyra's business helps high achieving Black women overcome their biggest limiting beliefs so they can reduce their stress and take control of their life. Walt's business turns lost young men with no direction in life into purpose driven Christian leaders. Jasmine's business upgrades the mindset of millennials so they can thrive in all areas of their life. Chris's business helps the military smoothly transition to civilian life and ensures they don't get taken advantage of. Taylor and Danielle's business helps married couples stop fighting with each other and start fighting for each other. Annette's business helps unhappy employees find their dream job so they can be fulfilled in their work. Celeste's business helps scientists get life science grants for their research to protect our oceans. Buddha helps social entrepreneurs grow their business and profits so they can have more impact. Delene's business uses dance to help married couples spice up their marriage and bring the sizzle back to reduce divorce rates and infidelity. Amanda's business helps coaches increase their productivity so they can crush their goals and serve more people, and many more. Okay, I've had the fortune to serve a lot of people, worked with a lot of clients, and these are just a few of the ideas that I've helped them come up with, and hopefully some of these may inspire you as well. Be the change you wish to see in the world. The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. You are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden. Let your good deeds shine out for all to see. Let's talk about the best business. So in my humble opinion, I've seen tons of different business ideas. Okay, I've been in this for years. I've seen a lot. Seen fads come and go, But in my opinion, one of the best businesses to start right now is, drumroll please, a high-ticket consulting or coaching practice. Now, why is this? One, you have very minimal startup costs. Two, you can launch quickly. There's minimal overhead. You can work from literally anywhere in the world. It's a booming industry. I mean, it's growing very, very quickly, double-digit growth for the past several years and expected to continue for several years to come. Once you're established, it doesn't have to take up a lot of time, assuming you have processes in place and all that stuff. You can earn thousands of dollars per client. So rather than trying to sell a widget for $10 at a time, you need a lot of customers selling a $10 widget one person at a time. You need a massive volume for that. With this kind of a business, you don't need that many clients in order to make a nice living, in order to hit that six-figure mark. Very high profit margins. It's super scalable if you know what you're doing, right? Most consultants and coaches, they're stuck in the time for money trap. And most people don't know how to get out of that. But that's because they don't know, right? So, but once you know, you realize that, oh, this is a very scalable business model. I've learned from people who are making over $10 million a year doing basically a coaching consulting type of a model because they know how to scale. And because I've paid them a lot of money to learn from them, I also know how to scale and can teach you as well. You can make very good money. I mean, is 10 million a year enough? At least for your first business? I think so. Hopefully. Helping, and the best part is you're helping other people realize their dreams, because who hires a coach or a consultant? It's somebody that has a problem, that wants a solution, that wants a better life. And so, I really like this type of a business. Now, you're going to want at least $5,000 to $10,000 in order to start this kind of business, which really is pretty cheap compared to other solutions. Like if you want to buy a franchise or start a restaurant or build an app, really you're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars, to be able to start a business that has the potential to grow to a 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figure business for only, for less than $10,000 is pretty amazing. Some people think that they should go get their MBA before they become an entrepreneur. I mean, that's $100,000 right there, more than likely, and it's not going to even help you that much. if you want to start a business, start a business. Don't get an MBA, because an MBA teaches you how to climb the corporate ladder. Doesn't teach you how to start a business from scratch. So how can you come up with money? Well, one is your savings account. Okay, your savings account. I was just recently read Ray Dalio's book. He was one of the best investors, and he would basically said cash is the worst investment. People think cash is the safest investment. No, it's the worst investment because every year you're guaranteed to lose money due to taxes and inflation. It's just that it loses it very slowly, and so it seems safe. But if you're earning less than 1% in your savings account, you might as well put that capital to work where it can make you a 10x return on your money or more versus leaving it and depreciating every year due to inflation. You get a loan from your 401k. These are nice because you borrow the money from yourself and then you pay yourself back, and the interest that you pay yourself back. From a bank, you pay the interest to the bank and the bank makes the money. With a 401k loan, you're paying yourself the money. Use existing credit cards. Okay, you can also ask to increase the existing credit limits so you have more access to capital. You can refinance your existing credit cards with a personal loan from SoFi or somebody else in order to take those high interest credit cards and take your credit card that's 18 or 20%, get it down to 8 or 9%, and then free up the credit limits on those cards. Or just get a new credit card. I mean, you can get a 0% interest rate credit card for like 18 months. That's basically free money for 18 months. So you put the expenses for your business on the credit card, and then over the course of 18 months, you make $10,000, hopefully a lot more, but at a minimum, $10,000 you pay off the credit card, and you basically got free money. OPM, other people's money, OPM. You always want to be thinking about how can I use other people's money. Friends and family could give you an investment in your business or a loan. You can sell stuff around the house, okay? But the bottom line is, money's not the problem. Okay, it's never a lack of resources that's the problem. It's a lack of resourcefulness. There's literally trillions of dollars on this planet. The issue isn't a lack of money. It's just a lack of resourcefulness. So think about how can you come up with a few $1,000s. There's hundreds of ways. I mean, here's 5 right here. But there are hundreds of ways that you can come up with that amount of money. So just be creative and stop telling yourself, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. I can't do it. I don't have the money. That's not true. Again, half of success when it comes to entrepreneurship is mindset. So change your mindset and say, well, if I needed to come up with that amount of money, how could I do it? That's a much more productive line of thought of how can I do it rather than I can't do it. So change your mindset. That's the real answer. Failing doesn't make you a failure. Staying down does. I knew that if I failed, I wouldn't regret that. But I knew the one thing I might regret is not trying. Failure is temporary. Regret is forever. Let's talk about failure. Everybody's afraid of failure. I think it's because of the school system. We taught that failing was bad. Unfortunately, in entrepreneurship, failing is kind of good because that's how you move forward. That's how you learn lessons. We shouldn't be afraid of failure. We should embrace it. So here are different ways that first-time entrepreneurs fail. First, they wait for everything to be perfect. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you're never going to start a business, ever. Okay, there's no such thing as perfection in life, generally speaking. Okay, so if you're a perfectionist, get over that. Let's just go out, try to make some money. I mean, think about some big companies like Adobe or other or even some Microsoft sometimes. Like their products aren't even that good. They crash a lot. They're like the design is bad, and yet they're still making millions and billions of dollars. So you don't need a perfect product in order to be successful. Okay, the biggest companies don't have perfect products, and you obviously want to have a good product, but that doesn't need to be perfect. Be the overanalyzer. Okay, if you're overanalyzing everything, you'll never be successful. Okay, at some point you have to take action. Quit. Analyzing is good. Overanalyzing is bad. Okay, you want to analyze to a degree, but if you're stuck in overanalysis, you'll be stuck there forever. People are like, ready, aim, ready, aim, ready, aim, ready, aim. They're going to be in that loop for a very long time. The penny pincher. Oh, I'm gonna start my company with, I'm not going to spend a dime, and I'm going to just figured out on my own. I mean, you can do that, but it's going to take you 10 years to figure it out, right? So if you're trying to do everything for super cheap, it's just going to take you a lot longer than if you don't. As Warren Buffett says, I've met Warren Buffett before, and as he says, the best investment you can make is in yourself. Okay. I've invested in many coaches and programs over the years. I probably invested, over $50,000 in myself. And that's why I'm able to have the success I have today, because I've always been investing in myself, even when I didn't have the money. I was resourceful. I found a way to do it. Okay. In fact, I was talking to a colleague a while back, and he makes over $1 million a year. And we were talking about investing in ourselves and things like that. He's like, yeah, you know what? I was curious, like how much I've spent over the past few years on myself, on coaches, consultants, mastermind groups, conferences, programs, all this kind of stuff. And he added up, and it was over $900,000. Over $900,000 he had invested in himself. I mean, when you invest that kind of money in yourself, of course you're going to be successful. So that's why the rich get richer, because they keep making investments and getting a return on their investment. And the average person doesn't invest anything in themselves, and well, that's why they're average. In fact, if you want to look at, billionaire business leaders, a lot of them have coaches, right? So if you want to be the best, do what the best do. Steve Jobs famously had a coach. Elon Musk has hired a coach. Eric Schmidt, he was asked by Fortune an open-ended question, which was, what's the best advice you've ever gotten in your life? He said, hire a coach. It's right there. There's the article. Microsoft, in one of his many TED Talks, in this one in particular, the first words out of his mouth was that he hired a coach. So if you want to take yourself to the next level, having a mentor, having a coach, show you the shortcuts is the fastest way to success. Let your excuses win. There's always a million excuses of why you can't do something. So just listen to those, but don't listen to the other side. That's a great way to never achieve anything. Just listen to your excuses. Excuses are, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't know the right people, I don't have the idea, I don't have this, blah, 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 blah. And then you just get stuck there for 10 years and never make any progress. So listen to your excuses if you want to fail. Getting advice from the unsuccessful. I love this one. I'll be talking to an aspiring entrepreneur, and they'll be like, oh, I don't know if I should invest in myself. Oh, I don't know if I should invest in a business right now. I'm going to go ask my broke friend what their opinion is. Or I'm going to go ask my spouse who has zero business experience what they think. Or I'm going to go ask my psychiatrist who, has a struggling practice themselves of what their opinion is. And then I'll listen to them and make my decision based on that. How stupid is that? Like, if you want to get advice, great, go get advice, but go get it from a successful person that has the success that you want. If you want to learn how to be average and broke, sure, go ask your friends what they think. But if you want to be a multi-million-dollar successful entrepreneur, go ask a multi-million-dollar successful entrepreneur what they would do. Okay? Be sure you're getting advice from the right people. Being indecisive. Okay, this sounds like, oh, let me think about it, or oh, maybe I'll do that, or oh, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. You want to fail? Just be indecisive. Successful people say yes or no, and then, they live with the consequences. If they failed, well, at least they know, and now they can fix it and adjust it and keep moving forward. The person that says, well, maybe someday, never learns anything and never accomplishes anything. Focus on the fear of what can go wrong. There's a million things that can go wrong, but there's also a million things that could go right. What most first-time entrepreneurs do, they just focus on all the things that can go wrong. Start focusing on the things that can go right. At least you have a balanced perspective, okay? Now, when it comes to challenges in entrepreneurship, there's a lot of them, okay? So I just wanted to go over a few of them. One, according to the Wall Street Journal, the average cost to start a business is around $65,000. And as I said before, if you're looking at certain businesses, it could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to get that off the ground. So to be able to start a business for less than $10,000 is pretty amazing. Then, once you start the business, for most businesses, it takes 2 to 3 years for the average business to even make a profit, meaning they're unprofitable for the first 2 to 3 years. Again, to be able to start a business that can be profitable within weeks, pretty amazing. Many entrepreneurs get in over $100,000 worth of debt before figuring out what the heck is going on. Okay, I've known several people that this happened to. According to Robert Herjavec, who's a shark on Shark Tank, he says it takes 10 to 15 years to become an overnight success. Right? If you're trying to figure this out on your own, 10 to 15 years probably sounds about right. That's why mentorship's so important, because they can show you the shortcuts. Right? You're also going to face information overload, right? How should I start a business? Go to Google, go to YouTube, right? Spend a few hours on there and you'll end up being just like, there's a reason that people don't get successful by just relying on Google on how to start a business. Because once you do that, it's just information overload and then analysis paralysis. So you got 100 different people saying 100 different things, and probably 95 out of those 100 people aren't even qualified to be giving advice because they don't have their own business in the first place. Right? A lot of these people are bloggers and they get paid to write good blog posts, not to grow businesses. And so you end up just being totally confused and paralyzed and totally overwhelmed and stressed. And then you get into self-doubt and self-sabotage, which you're not even realizing that you're doing, because most people don't monitor how they talk to themselves. They don't realize the behavior that they're doing. And it just turns into this nightmare scenario. And then you stack on top of that, according to a piece of research, said 72% of entrepreneurs have mental health challenges, because when you're an entrepreneur, you're under an enormous amount of stress. A lot of people become depressed. You've got financial challenges. You've got people challenges. You've got market challenges. It's a really stressful time. And then within 10 years, according to Inc. magazine, 96% of businesses fail. So you have all these challenges as an entrepreneur, and I could come up with 10 more slides full of other things. These are just some of the highlights. So it's very difficult, but here's the good news. The good news is all that can be avoided with the right mentor. Okay, all those challenges, they can just go out the window when you follow a proven system, when you let someone who's been there before tell you what mistakes to avoid. You can have results or excuses, not both. I love that quote. You can have results or excuses, not both. Hard work without talent is a shame, but talent without hard work is a tragedy. A lot of you on this call, on this webinar, have great talent, but you're not working hard to do anything with it. And that's a tragedy. You are the hero of your own story, so start acting like it. How to start your own profitable business within 8 weeks. So if you're looking for fast results, I'm going to tell you how to get fast results. And in fact, these qualities are for fast results in any area of life. I'm just going to happen to focus on business, but you can use it for pretty much any area. One, follow a proven process. People have had success before, so just do what they did. Have an accountability partner. Most people left on their own do nothing. They say, I'll do it tomorrow, and then 10 years go by and they haven't made any progress. Have someone to hold you accountable. Work hard. Okay, a lot of people, they're like, well, duh, of course you have to work hard. But they know it, but they're not doing it. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential power. Right? If you have the knowledge, but you're not acting on it, you're not doing anything with it, then it's a waste. You might as well not have known it in the first place. Focus on the 80-20 that gets results. Okay, in entrepreneurship, there are so many, it's like drinking from a fire hose. There's so many things you could be doing. You want to eliminate 80% of it and only focus on the 20% that's actually going to drive your profit, drive your fulfillment. Problem is, most people can't differentiate, well, what's the 20% I should focus on? What's the 80% I should ignore? But once you know that, then you can get results a lot faster. Surround yourself with like-minded people. If every person in your life is average or below average, how are you going to rise above that? You need to surround yourself with like-minded people who believe in themselves, who think they can actually change the world, who are the crazy ones, who believe that they can do it. You want to surround yourself with people that are better than yourself or are further along on the path you want to go on than you are. Get mentorship from an expert. Forge an unstoppable mindset. Self-doubt, self-sabotage, negative limiting beliefs, all these things, those will undo an entrepreneur more than market forces will. It's not the competitor that's keeping you down, it's yourself. We're our own worst enemy most of the time when it comes to entrepreneurship. and step into your power and become a warrior. It's a battle. Entrepreneurship is a battle. It's not only a battle against competitors and pricing pressures and all these other things. It's also a battle against yourself because, you know, people have inner demons inside that are talking to them uh, figuratively, and, you know, it's holding them down. So you got to be able to fight back against all these negative thoughts that are trying to drag you down. That's why entrepreneurship is so difficult. And be able to get your unique questions answered. I mean, Google's great. I love Google, but it doesn't have the answer to everything. Sometimes you need to talk to an established expert human that can answer your questions. So some of the questions that you guys might be thinking are, what kind of business should I start? What is my purpose and passion? What should my target market be? How can I make an exciting value proposition? What marketing strategy should I use? How can I improve my sales skills quickly? What problem am I able to tackle with my current skill set? What should my product or service be, and how much should I charge for it? Which business model should I choose? What are the most important things I should focus on if I have limited time, which most people do? Where do I even begin? Right? So these are a bunch of questions you may be wondering, and obviously I can't answer these questions individually for all of you because, you know, this is meant to be just an hour webinar. So for those of you that kind of need those answered, I have a solution, right? My Entrepreneur Bootcamp. So what is this thing? Well, it's an intense 8-week program. During the 8 weeks, I'm going to help you finish that business plan. Those 8 essential items you need, they're all going to be figured out in 8 weeks or less. You work directly with me every single week. I'm going to answer your unique questions. You can keep your day job while you're in it. I basically give you all the benefits of a business partner, but I don't take any equity, right? You don't have to give me 50% of your company, and you're going to get all the benefits that a business partner would have anyway. In fact, probably better benefits because I know most, I probably know more than a lot of business partners you would even be considering. The whole program is tax deductible. And in fact, if you're in a high tax state, one of the best ways you can lower your taxes is by starting a business because you can run so many expenses through the business. Right? So if you're trying to save money on taxes, starting a business is one of the best ways you can do it. And my goal for you is that your business would be up and running and making a profit within the 8 weeks if you do the work. Okay. If you don't do your homework, then you're not going to get the result. If you come back to me every week and say, oh, Joey, you know, I was busy at work. I didn't have a chance to do the 3 things you asked me to do. All right, well, then you're not going to, you're not going to start your business and make a profit in that amount of time. But if you follow the process, I'm very confident, and there's lots of clients who have done it before, where they are making a profit right away during the 8 weeks itself. And it's a premium program, and it's worth every penny. So if you don't have a business idea, a lot of people don't have a business idea. Like I said, I'll take you through my 1.5 hour long process, and I'm going to come up with 5 to 10 business ideas for you. If you do have a business idea, I'm going to help you make it even better. You know, I've talked to a lot of first-time entrepreneurs, and they all think their business idea is genius until I poke about 20 holes in it, and they're like, oh, maybe there's room for improvement here. Okay, I can help you do that. If you're already an expert at solving a problem, I can help you monetize that expertise. If you have no areas of expertise, I will equip you with the skills you need to deliver results for your clients and customers and make an impact. So no matter where you are, you have a business idea or you don't, you have an area of expertise or you don't, I can help you achieve success. In fact, I already have some businesses that if you want to start one of these, now you don't have to, you can start any business you want, assuming I want to help you start that business. There's certain types of businesses that are on my kind of blacklist where I won't deal with those, but that's 95% of businesses are fine. So whatever kind of business you want to start, I can help you with it. But if you want to start one of these that I'm about to have on this list, then they're basically already ready to go. So if you want to do financial literacy or personal finance, I'm a big personal finance guy. I can teach you all the skills you need for that. You want to do business coaching? That's basically what I'm doing. And I can teach you how I'm doing it and give you the skills you need to succeed. Career coaching, I've done that. I've placed over 100 people into their first job, or into not their necessarily their first job, but into a well-paying job. I can help you, show you how to do career coaching. I can show you how to do life coaching. If you want to start a mindset or mental health company, which really is probably my number one favorite thing to help people with, I can help you with that. I can give you the skills you need to get people I don't want to make any claims here, but to help people with their mindset. I can help you start an online education company. If you want to start a women's empowerment company, or one of those businesses I mentioned before that I help my clients come up with, I can help you start one of those, or really pretty much anything else that you want to do. So just depends, what do you want? So the Entrepreneur Bootcamp, it's great if you want to achieve success 10 times faster than if you were to try to do it yourself. If you want support along the way, if you want to avoid common and costly mistakes, I went over just a few of them earlier. There's many, many more. If you want a step-by-step plan to make 6 figures over the next year, if you want to change the world and serve others, and if you want security, a backup plan, a second source of income just in case, what if you get laid off tomorrow? How are you going to pay your bills? What is your plan for the next phase of your life? What happens if, the economy shuts down, or who knows what could happen, right? If you want some more security, then you want to have your own business. Having your own business is security, as long as you know what you're doing. Okay, there's a lot of businesses that fail, and those people aren't getting the right mentorship. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of other people's opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Begin doing what you want to do now. So begin doing what you want to do now. We are not living in eternity. We have only this moment, sparkling like a star in our hand and melting like a snowflake. So now you have a choice, and it's a very simple choice. Do you want to get your business off the ground as quickly as possible, or do you not? Do you want to go through the Googling, the hopping around different business ideas, the struggling, the getting into the debt, the procrastination, 5 years from now, your business still isn't successful, figured out yourself, wasted a massive amount of time, wasted a massive amount of money. You want to go down that path? Or do you just basically want things handed to you on a silver platter and say, here's what you need to do each week in order to get your business off the ground and making a profit? Do you want your business off the ground and making money as quickly as possible in 8 weeks or less? Or do you not? That's the only choice you have to make. So here's how we can help. My team and I have set aside some time over the next couple of days to speak with you personally about how you can apply these ideas starting today. We'll get on the phone for about 45 minutes, and we'll work with you to get crystal clear on 3 things. Your goals. So what are your goals? 2, what are your biggest challenges? And 3, what is your step-by-step plan so you can finally have that profitable business that helps others that you're yearning for? Now, you can sign up for one of these calls anytime on my website. Go to coacheeve.co. It's $97. You can buy it whenever you want. But I like to reward action takers, right? Decisive, resourceful action takers who see an opportunity and take it. Those are the people that I like to reward. So through this webinar, you can sign up for one of these calls at no charge. Okay? So why are we doing this? Well, the biggest reason is we need more social entrepreneurs in this world. We need more heroes and heroines to step up and make a difference. And if we can help point you in the right direction, that's something we can be proud of. There's so many problems in this world that need solving. I can't solve them all. I need good-natured, hardworking, resourceful, decisive action taker, social entrepreneurs to help me out. Okay, hopefully you're one of those people. Okay, I also know that many of you are going to want to invest in working with me so I can help you achieve your entrepreneurial dreams, and I'd love to do that, right? If some of you want to become clients, and so I can help you achieve success much faster, and so I can help you change the world, that would be awesome. Okay, who is this not for? So this free strategy session, it's not for dabblers and tire kickers. It's not for the let me think about it, I'll do it tomorrow, procrastinators, I can't because of XYZ excuse makers, none of those people. It's not for the uncommitted. It's not for the unresourceful. It's not those who are unwilling to work hard. It's definitely not for quitters. Who it is for is you want to start a business that allows you to get rich by helping others. You want to have the business up and running and profitable within 8 weeks. You're able to invest at least $5,000 to $10,000 into your business, or you have a good credit score and are willing to get a loan. You are hungry and ambitious. You're a decisive action taker who is coachable and follows directions. You realize time is your most valuable asset and you want results as quickly as possible. You're committed to becoming an entrepreneur right now, not next week, not next month. You're excited to start making a difference today. And you want added control and security in your life in a very insecure world. So if that's you, book a call. You can apply for a free strategy session with me and my team. So click the sign up now button on the screen or just go to coachieve.co/action. Fill out the brief survey form so we can be best prepared for the call. Pick the best time and day that works for you. There is limited availability, so hopefully one of the times will work for you. And then get excited for the call. This call could potentially change your life. Um, a lot of people have had these calls and had breakthroughs just on the call itself in terms of, what was their big why for starting the business? What kind of business idea could they go down? Just through some self-reflection, these calls are valuable, just regardless of the advice you get. So go ahead and go to coachieve.co/action or click the button to sign up for the call. And I really just want to encourage you, take action. Okay. Don't say, oh yeah, I might start a business next year or something. No, really take an action right after this webinar is done, right after you sign up for the call. Take your first action to get that business going, right? We only get one life. You're not getting any younger, right? I don't know how many other cliche sayings I can tell you, but like, take action. The world needs your help. The world needs your hard work. It needs your talents. So go out and solve a problem and get paid doing it. Get rich helping other people. Okay, that's my plea to you. The world is suffering and it needs your help, and nobody else is going to do it. It's got to be you. It's got to be you. Nobody else is doing it. Look around. They're too busy with, obsessed with themselves and worrying about their own problems. They're not worrying about other people's problems. Take the time to worry about other people's problems and make good money doing it. And hopefully I can help you do that. I look forward to speaking with you. I look forward to working with you all, and have a wonderful rest of the day.